This conference will now be recorded.
Let me open Notepad. Let me save this file. Fine. So we understood about accrual schemes yesterday. So you need to practice with the system. Fine. So Somsundara, you have joined from multiple instruments. Can you please log off? Or do you have any?
Yeah, Satya, good morning, Satya. Sorry for that. See, I don't have the mics and this one in my computer. Okay.
So
that's
so
where
one thing, yeah. Yes, please proceed.
So that for audio, I'm in my mobile phone. For the screen, I am in my laptop. That is the challenge.
So at a time, only one will be allowed, Samsundara. So if you want two instruments, you need to pay for two. Okay, so I'm really sorry to say like this. You can join for only one, either one you can join. Whenever you want, you can switch over. Okay, but continuously one instrument only will be allowed.
That's where if I want to share the screen, I will not be able to do that.
So at that time, whenever you are sharing, at that time only you can join. Okay, no problem.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Fine. So any questions, team? Anyone? Before going to start the session, any questions? Anything?
Yes, Satya. Actually, I wanted to show you something. There is one journal, okay, I have created that doesn't the posting button is not activated for that particular vendor journal when I created it. I don't know what is the issue. That's why I just wanted to.
Fine. So let me go to this one. So which one you are opening? Can you please guide me? I will tell you.
Okay. Accounts payable. Collapse all. Next invoices. Yeah. Next invoice journal.
Okay.
JV number 460.
Okay. 1 second. So only for a few minutes, if you want, you can open that one, Samsundara, no problem. But forever it will not be. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. Thanks.
So for showing the issue, definitely you are allowed.
Okay. Okay. 460. There is a 460 journal. 460 is there, na?
Okay,
460.
Yeah. I will tell you. Okay. So this one is. Let me close. This one is workflow AP invoice.
Okay. Got it.
Workflow means if you go workflow, here workflow is linked. So for that, it will not be there. And like if you go inside, these buttons are disabled.
Yeah, disabled. Yeah.
Your manager will.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So see, see, my intention is not to use two instruments. It's not like my intention. My intention is only one instrument to use it. But whenever you are facing challenges, definitely you can share your screen, and then once it is completed, you can join for only one. Okay.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. So I'm very happy in this batch. There are many people asking questions and writing issues in the WhatsApp group. I want this should be done by everyone and create problems in the WhatsApp group, whatever you are facing. So like see, so many people, there are so many people will ask like in one-to-one this same asks, then I will reject and I will ask them to ask in the WhatsApp group. The reason behind, some people they are not faced this issue. Suppose Somsundara faced one issue, and Raghavendra faced another issue, and Pramila is facing another issue. That issue will be shared across all the team members. That is the reason I'm asking you to post any issues in the WhatsApp group. We have 7 AM batch 85 group. In that group, please post it, and I'm expecting more errors in the group. So whenever you are learning smoothly, the straightforward learning, anyone can learn. Anyone can learn positive scenarios. See, this is happy paths, that is positive scenarios. Positive scenarios will be learned by everyone, but negative scenarios means errors, problems. So just like Somsundra identified, I have not explained, I'm going to explain in the future, but he identified like it is button is disabled. Why? I'm expecting that kind of curiosity from everyone. So anyhow, I will explain in the future, but that is not the scenario. You need to dig it. You need to dig and you need to identify. You need to observe each and every area, and you need to come back to me in such a way that I'm not able to answer your questions. In such a way, you need to make me trouble. Then I'm very happy. Okay. The reason behind I grown, how I grown like means I'm ready to face challenges a lot. Not only in the trainings, in the like whenever I'm doing my job roles, at that time also I'm interested to face challenges in terms of functionality. So don't go far away from the problems. Try to attempt. Then your growth will be more in real-time scenario also, in your life also. Okay, fine. So any more questions in the WhatsApp group?
Morning,
So,
Satya.
don't ask.
A small
Yeah,
question.
good morning. Yeah, Nana.
A small question. See, this
Yeah.
server which we are using is the standalone, right? The vendors which you are
Yes,
creating, I cannot
yes.
see, or the vendors I create cannot be seen by others, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it is in your system only.
Okay, it's in my system only.
Standalone
Okay,
system.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
That is
fair enough.
indirectly it is server is installed in your laptop.
Okay, okay, fair enough. So
So
yesterday we
that
were
will cannot be
actually
handled with.
yesterday we were trying to do it combinedly with Surendra. So we could not able to
Ah.
see whatever he has created, and we could not able to troubleshoot his error. So that's the reason I just asked.
Yeah. Each and every individual has your own server, so that you can practice. Whatever you are creating, it will not be looked at. You cannot look at Surendra system, and Surendra whatever he is creating, you cannot look at in your system, Narayan. Okay, fine.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and only one thing regarding video accesses, that is not in my control. Institute only will help us. Okay. If it is any video recording access problems, please post in the WhatsApp group. If it is not resolved in the same day, please post once again next day. Don't keep silent. Post in the next day. I will do follow up like one-to-one with Institute. Okay, fine. Now, debits and credits we are learning. We are learning debits and credits. So chart of accounts are classified into assets, liabilities, equities, sales revenue, cost of goods or purchase expenses, 6 expenses, 7 other incomes, 8 appropriation. Chart of accounts are classified into these many parts: assets, liabilities, equities, sales revenue, cost of goods, purchase expenses, other income, and appropriation. Okay, so this actually golden rules are there. Already we learned golden rules in your education, BCom or CEC, BCom, MBA. Your faculty has explained golden rules. The golden rules. personal account, real accounts, nominal accounts. Okay, so personal accounts means debit. Can anyone please help me?
Debit the receiver, credit the giver.
Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So in your mind, internally, in your mind, silently, we can speak like this. Whatever I am writing in the bracket, in your mind, if you don't express opposite person, the material receiver, the material giver. Okay, but the material will be, you need to speak in your mind, receiver. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. The material is means, if you go to the organization chart, so the giver and the receiver. From my company, this is my company. This vendor is a giver to me, and this is the receiver to the customer. For my company, who is giving? This one. Who is receiving? Customer. Understood? So that is the giver and the receiver. So the receiver means who is receiving? Ultimately the material is going to the customer account. And the giver means who is giving? Vendor. So always vendors will be credited and customers will be debited. With this one you can understand easily. Next, real accounts. Can anyone help me?
Debit what comes in and credit what goes out.
So what comes in? Credit means what goes out. This is, you need to apply simply balance sheet. Always assets is comes in. All assets comes in, and all liabilities goes out. So all assets means here, example, inventory coming, fixed assets coming, your bank accounts, your money, customers, your money, it comes in. Whereas liabilities means bank loans. Okay, just give me a minute, 1 minute please. Okay, so here, yes, loans, borrows, and vendors also you need to pay. In this, equities also, all liabilities and equities. Actually, equities is a part of liability. Equities is a part of liability. Equities means investors. Investors who invested money for the company. Company need to pay. Okay, then it is liabilities. Next, nominal accounts. Here the confusion. Now, can anyone help me?
Debit all expenses and credit all gains,
Debit all expenses, credit all
credit incomes and gains.
Here I want debit more. Here I want more debit. I'm expecting my company should have more debits in these places. but here quite opposite. Look at this one. Expenses debit means expenses or losses is debit. It is showing quite opposite behavior. Credit is showing gains, incomes, and profits. This is the confusion to every mind. The exact opposite behavior from here to here. This is profit and loss account statement. Okay, if you understand this one, more enough. This is the only confusion. Only confusion. Because here many people will think like credit means expenses. Here positive, the positive is you are expecting positive. In this, negative should be minimum. Then your company is in a great position. Positive value should be more, negative value should be less. Agree? But here negative value should be more. In the profit and loss account statement, negative value should be more. Understood? This is the only one, only confusion or for any person. So why it is oppositely it was mentioned? What is the reason? Oppositely it is there. So if you look at this one, trial balance or chart of accounts is equal to balance sheet plus profit and loss account. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
we are
yes.
able to.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
Yeah.
like yeah, Som Sundra is asking to. Okay, fine. So here, look at this one. Trial balance is equal to balance sheet plus profit and loss. So here, if you want to make sum of 0, if you enter positive 5, you need to enter negative 5 here. Agree? Then only it will become 0. Suppose always, suppose 20 plus some value should be equal to 0. Then what is this value? Positive, if I enter, whether it will become 0. Can anyone?
Minus
This
20.
value always minus, always minus. So it should be minus 20. That's what here. So whenever you are posting one entry, one transaction will be posted here, and one transaction posted will be posted here, or one here, or one here, one here. So always journal voucher. There are many people are asking, what is this journal? What is this voucher? What is this journal? Or what is this voucher? Actually, the word is journal voucher. Journal voucher means at least one debit, and at least one credit. Is voucher. At least one debit and means it may have more debits and more credits also, but at least one debit, one credit is journal voucher. Journal voucher or journal or voucher, all are same. journal voucher. So accountants, they will use the word JV, JV, JV. This is the shortcut. They will use the word JV, journal voucher. Journal voucher.
Shouldn't it be equal? Always the debits and credits are always equal.
Should be equal. Should be equal. In a voucher, in any voucher, in any ERP, not only Dynamics, in any ERP, total debits and total credits should be 0. Means that should be equal. That should be equal. So whenever we are doing invoice journal, now this is AX 2012 R3. Okay. Now let me go to D365. Give me a minute. So if you are posting accounts payable, collapse all, invoices, invoice journal. Suppose AP invoice journal, I'm selecting here. You are selecting the vendor account. You are selecting the vendor account. Click tab, and we are entering invoice number. Invoice number, date you are entering, and we are entering credit, the amount. Next, you are entering offset account. It is must. This is expenses account data to vendor account credit. So look at this one, debit 50, credit 50, balance 0. If in case you have not entered this one, you have not entered, it is debits 0, credits 50, total balance difference is minus 50. If you are trying to post, it will throw error message. Accounting currency minus 50, reporting currency minus 50. The voucher is does not balance. Do not balance. The voucher is do not balance. Understood?
This expense account along with business unit, how it is automatically calculating that 001, whether
Fine.
equal
So,
value.
yeah, for that one, I will show you. If you go to the vendor account, one by one setups, those setups are vendor accounts. If you go to vendor account, so vendor account number is 1001. For this 1001 vendor, for this 1001 vendor, okay, if you scroll down, payments are somewhere else. 1 second. Invoice and delivery. Here offset account is there. Offset account is there. So from where it is coming, this offset account means here. Give me a minute.
The business unit also mapped here only.
I will tell you. 1 minute. So here, give me a minute. Business unit is from here, from downside, financial dimensions. That is business unit. And offset account, actually it is not allowing to select, am I right? Here, it is not allowing. It is not allowing. Here, in this, give me a minute. Can anyone help me in this? One of the button is offset accounts are there.
Maybe in invoice tab.
Default accounts. These are the accounts. Understood? If you map it, it will come. Set as default.
Got it.
Okay. So based on the requirement, you can use it. The default accounts, it will be popped. Fine, the dimensions. Now let me go back. Now I have not entered offset account. I can enter one more line. Suppose if you want, really, I can enter 1002, another vendor, and suppose this is 155-001, 154-002 invoice number. I can enter, suppose this is 200. Now if you save it, it is 250. Now I can enter line downside. Here I can select offset account, ledger, and here I can select 6, whatever I want. Okay, now I can enter 250. In this case, offset account I have not entered. So look at this one. Now credit and debit is tallied. Suppose it is not tallied. You have entered only 225. 125. There is a difference. Then if you are trying to post, it will throw error message. Debits and credits are not tallied. You cannot post it at all. So your job is this one. Errors. You need to face errors. You need to answer that errors to the business users. That is your task. Vendor invoice, vendor payment, customer invoice, customer payment is not your task at all. It is not your task. But if you don't know how to do it, this vendor invoice, vendor payment, customer invoice, customer payment, then you cannot help the opposite person. So that is the reason you are learning. Okay, fine. Now if you map 250, then if you save it, then it is showing debit and credit tallied and balance is 0. Now, so we have options to select validate voucher, simulate posting. Simulate posting means it will verify the posting and it will not post. So it will tell you like whether it is any errors or not.
Satya, a question over
Yeah.
here. What is the difference between the validate and simulate posting?
So validate means it will validate accounting structure related, but it will not validate, it will not completely verify the entire process. Only accounting structure related setups it will be validated. Simulate posting means other than that one, there are some more issues or not, that will be validated.
In that case, when we are making the payment, suppose it's a hypothetical question. If at all, if we are making a payment through the check, okay, and we have not given the check number, we didn't generate the check number, but before that, when we click on the validate, then it will only check the accounting structure, and if the accounting structure
actually not only that one. So I will tell you now. Let me give me a minute. See, look at this one. I'm going to extend it all. Okay, give me a minute.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to accounts payable module, this is old version, payment journal. So if you go to the lines, so look at this one here. We have only validate and validate voucher only. So at that time, it is validating 80% functions, but not 100%.
Okay.
still you are getting errors. So to extend this one functionality, Microsoft has provided simulate posting. So you can use simulate posting rather than all these things. Is the best option.
Okay, right.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, welcome. Fine. So now we understood about these postings. Clear? Now let me go back to our notepad. Chart of accounts. Here in the golden rules, these are rule. Rule means whether you are in India, whether you are in USA, whether you are in America, like Canada, UK, or Australia, rule is rule. You cannot skip it. But whereas this one is best practices. Best practices. What do you mean? So suppose you are learning car driving in India. In India, car driving you are learning. So left turn is free in India. Am I right? Left turn is free. You need not to you can move left side very easily. Whereas if you want to move right side, you need to verify back side anyone is coming or not, and based on that you need to move right side. Agree? Agree with me? Any confusion in this one?
Yes, yes, no.
Okay, suppose you are landing, like you are driving in Dubai or in USA. There right turn is free. You know that one? In USA and Dubai, it is
Yeah.
right turn is free. Left turn
Yeah.
is you need to take complexity. So suppose you are learning car driving in India for 5 days and you are going to Dubai and you are learning 5 days in Dubai. Can you learn this one, car driving? You are learning car driving 2 days here in India, 2 days in Dubai. Once again you are coming back in India, 2 days you are practicing here, and 2 days you are going to Saudi or Dubai or something like Bahrain or something, Oman, you are learning there. Can you learn this car driving easily?
No, it's confused.
It will confuse a lot. Confuse a lot, am I right? So you need to stick to one country and you need to learn. Agree? Once you learn
Yeah.
in India, then if you go to Dubai, once you have learned in here in India already, and if you go to Dubai, you can learn, you can practice in right turn also in Dubai. Agree? Agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
In the same manner, chart of accounts means I'm telling you like 1 assets, 2 liabilities, 3 equities, 4 revenue, 5 cost of goods, 6 expenses, 7 other incomes, 8 appropriation. You need to learn this in this manner. Later, whenever you are implementing in any client, he is telling like 1 means sales revenue. You should not argue. No, Satya sir explained like 1 is assets. No, this is not a rule. This is best practices. This is best practice. Understood? Microsoft is proposing you can use 1 assets, 2 liabilities, 3 equities, 4 sales revenue, 5 cost of goods or purchase expenses, 6 expenses, 7 other incomes, and 8 appropriation. Let me show in the system. 1 second. Let me go to D365. General ledger, collapse all, chart of accounts, chart of accounts. Okay, suppose any one chart of accounts you are taking, suppose shared chart of accounts. 1 series, all are assets. All are assets. Observe here the account type. All are assets. Next, 2 series liabilities. 2 series liabilities. 3 series. It is equities. Look at this one. 3 series it is equity. 3 series is very few equities. 4 series revenue, but these are sales revenues. Through sales, whatever you are getting, those revenues. 4 series are sales revenues. But sales revenues. 5 series is expenses, but it is cost of goods or purchase expenses. 6 series expenses. 7 series very few. 6 series is very huge. 6 series is huge, and 7 series it is very few. Look at this one. 3, 4, not more than that. In real times also, it may be max to max 10. Okay, revenue, other revenues or other incomes. 8 series is mix of all. 8 series is mix of all. Mix of all. So this is not a rule. This is best practice. So to learn, you need to stick to one path, like car driving. Like car driving, you need to stick to one way, like 1 assets, 2 liabilities, 3 equities, 4 sales revenue, 5 cost of goods, 6 expenses, 7 other incomes, 8 appropriation. You need to learn in this manner. Whenever once your learning is completed, whenever you are implementing, at that time the client is, I don't want like this, you can convince the customer like this is the best practice. Majority companies, majority countries, they are following this manner. You can convince. If they are not convincing, you don't have alternative. 1 means sales revenue, 2 means expenses, 3 means incomes, other incomes, 4 means sales revenue, suppose assets. Whatever they are following, you need to follow. But you need to try to convince the customer. The reason behind suppose if you go here, suppose Malaysia chart of accounts, also the same. Look at this one. Majority companies in Malaysia, they are following like this. Mexico and Russia, of course, they are using asset and liability. They are not using directly balance sheet. They are using. So country to country, it will be vary. Brazil, assets, but their naming convention is different. As per their country specific, they need to map it. Chinese has different, but majority countries are 1 series assets, 2 series liabilities, 3 series equities. But in the French, they are following 1 series equity. They have differently. So based on the client, wherever it is there, based on that will follow. But learning purpose, try to learn in this manner. Try to learn in this manner. One sequence, try to learn. Once you learned one sequence, next later on you can understand that one different scenarios based on the client. Yes, please. Any questions? Someone else is speaking something.
No. See, the question is when the implementation has been agreed, and when before we start off, based on the country, since this is being the best practice for the respective countries, being a project manager or the implementation lead, this list will be provided to the client to say that this is how the best practice that has been suggested by the Microsoft. So that will they want to follow that, or they will propose a new one? Is it? That's how it goes?
Actually, whenever you are implementing, you need to collect chart of accounts from the client. You need to collect. That is your role. Okay, your roles and responsibilities. You are going to learn implementation methodology. I will explain you. At that time, you will understand like that is your one of the responsibilities. Chart of accounts collection from the customer. Whenever you are collecting, you will observe this chart of accounts, how they have configured, and you are going to propose this new chart of accounts. Like suppose they are following 4 series as 4 series as assets, 5 series is liability. You can propose this is best practice, because suppose they have 3 companies. One company is in Singapore, one company is in Malaysia, one company is in India. Okay, then Malaysia company is following differently, and Singapore company is following differently, and India company is following differently individually, because at that time they have 3 different applications, 3 different areas. Now they are migrating from their old system to new system. Then they will argue with each other like This is my best practice. This is my best practice. So you need to have common chart of accounts for all these three. You are proposing. At that time, you can propose, you can convince all like this.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, ultimately the head office, wherever it is there, those will win. Frankly, I'm speaking. The domination is always head office. If it is head office is in Singapore, whatever they are selling, whatever they are saying, that one only we need to obey. We don't have,
That's
but we need to convince. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
and at the same time, even when we run the consolidation, even at that time when we have the common COA, then it will be easy for the consolidation as well, right, Satya?
Exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. I think Venkatesh is speaking something.
That's true, sir.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So I worked in client place from 2000 to 2005, and from 2006 onwards, I'm in IT industry. I worked in implementation, I worked in support consultant, I worked in testing, all different roles I played. I know the pains of implementations. Okay, fine. Now, so 1 assets, 2 liabilities, 3 equities, 4 sales revenue, cost of goods, 5 cost of goods or purchase expenses, 6 expenses, 7 other incomes, and 8 appropriation. So in 7 series, in real-time scenario also, it is very few, and 3 series equities also, it is few, but the highest will be huge in this expenses. Okay, more ledger accounts in this one. Okay, this is reality for any implementations. For any implementations, this will be the reality. Okay, fine. So I think a little bit boring subject, because commerce means little bit boring. Let us understand vendor payment, customer payment. Let us recap vendor payment, customer payment. So vendor payment means for vendor, we need to pay money. We need to pay money to the vendor. That is vendor payment. Am I right? So the client, this client is paying money to the vendor. This client is paying money to the vendor. That is vendor payment. So vendor payment means the client is paying money to the vendor. Then my cash balance or bank balance will be decreased or increased if I am paying money.
Decreased.
Decreased. So to cash or bank account will be credited. If it is a vendor account, this is actually, this one is debit the receiver, credit the giver is for invoicing. Don't apply this rule at the time of payment. This is for invoice. That is the reason I have included material receiver, material giver. This rule you need to apply at the time of invoicing, whether it is a customer invoice or vendor invoice. This is invoice receiving from the vendor or invoice, generating invoice and providing to the customer. At that time you need to apply this rule. You need to apply this rule at the time of invoicing. At the time of payment, you need to apply this one. Okay, so from the cash or bank, my cash balance or bank balance will be decreased So that is the negative. And now vendor account debit. So at the time of invoice, you are entering negative. At the time of payment, you are entering positive. So that will become zero balance. At the time of invoice, you are entering negative. At the time of payment, you are entering positive. Then it will become zero. Understood? So at the time of vendor payment, don't look at the vendor scenario. What is happening vendor? If you look at that vendor, it will be confusion. So your cash or balance. See, paying money means if it is money is coming into the picture, you need to remember cash or bank. So my cash or bank, whether it is increasing or decreasing, it is decreasing because I am doing payment to the vendor. So it is decreasing my cash or bank under account debit. Okay. So let me show you in the system. So Monday I will discuss with you about check returns. Monday we'll discuss with you about returns. Now we are doing once again vendor payment journal. Click on new, select the journal name, go to lines, select the vendor, Now you can select invoice here by clicking on settle transactions. Already invoices, whatever it was invoiced already, that invoice you can select.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Just can you stay in the screen for a minute? Instead.
Yeah, I'm going back. Yeah. Already clicked. Now I'm going. Yes.
Yeah. Instead of selecting the first checkbox, can you select the second checkbox?
So that is actually developed for some other company. I think some other earlier it is not there. You can select.
This is the error I'm getting.
So you can select on this one. Fully settlement. If you do fully settlement, you can first you need to select this one. Next you need to select this one. Then you can.
No, actually, what I was understanding is that when I say fully settle, when I select that checkbox, automatically all the open item in the vendor for this in this particular vendor should get selected. That's what my understanding, and I tried to select that, but it didn't.
No, it's not that one. It's not
okay.
That one. Yeah. Okay. So this is fully settlement means I don't want partial. It is fully. That's what here. Okay, fine. Now, so here we are selecting bank, offset account bank. Then it will show you debit and credit. So look at this one, vendor account credit. Sorry, bank credit. Because I'm doing payment, my bank balance will be decreased, bank credit. So automatically vendor will be debited. Okay, method of payment check. If you go inside method of payment check, here if you scroll down, payment control. So we have enabled these check boxes. Offset account type bank, check number is mandatory, and bank transaction type mandatory. Because of this mapping, so here bank transaction type is populated automatically from the setup. Next, bank is selected. Check number I have not filled. If I want to enter manual, I cannot. Check number I cannot enter. Okay.
This payment status will be always none, Satya.
So if you generate check, it will be changed. I'm going to show you. Okay, now you cannot enter manually. You need to click on generate payments. Select the method of payment check. And bank account, offset account type, bank USMF operations. Now if you click OK, the check number is coming automatically. 792 and click OK. So here, while doing click OK, you need to verify if it is any default printer is there, it will print automatically. That you need to verify. Okay, I'm clicking on OK. I don't have any default printer, no issues. If it is any printers are there, you need to go to document and you need to change that one document there, printer to screen. Otherwise, it will be wasted off. Your your A4 stationery paper will be wasted. That's it. So it will take some time, 1 minute time. Let it be finished. Yeah. Meanwhile, if you want to speak, anyone, you can speak.
Yeah, if the check series.
03.
Sorry.
Transaction type. Find the transaction type.
So here, unable to find the printer path. Printer is not able to find. Printer is not there. That is not an issue. Now the status is changed to sent. The status is changed to sent. Means earlier it is none. Now it is status changed to sent. Means check was generated and sent to the vendor. Sent to the vendor. Okay, it is generated. Now you can post. So the status changed. You are asking me about the status, am I right? Now it is sent. Now you can post.
Satya, I have a question on this accrual scheme.
Yeah.
Accrual schedule. So suppose we are creating an accrual schedule for 1 year, okay, 12 months. In the real-time scenario, or the periods, the upcoming periods will be actually closed, right? It will not be open for posting for all the months.
Yeah.
So how it will impact actually?
So it is must. You need to open that one. Then only it will allow. Otherwise, it will not.
So we need to open for 12 months when we are posting this accrual scheme.
Yes. That is a product limitation. That is a product limitation. I saw tickets received from clients. Some support clients, support people like I want the period should be closed and it should be posted. It is mutual conflict.
Yeah, that's what. See, ideally it will be closed, and if I have to post this accrual, it has to be open. So
yes, exactly. That is the scenario in the system. Yeah, contradictory, but we don't have alternative. We don't have.
So actually, yesterday I tried to close. I closed April period and tried this scheme. So it skipped the April voucher and it posted in the June itself.
May. Yeah. So whatever you have posted, like blacked that one, it will be posted to the future months. If these periods are not there, if the periods are not there, or all periods, future periods are black, then it will not allow you to post it. It will not allow you to post.
Okay, any particular period is closed, it will allow us to post in the future period.
Yeah, future period. If these all future periods are black, then it will not allow you to post. It will stop.
Okay.
That is a product limitation, a mutual conflict, because the design it will not support.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Satya, here I have one more
Satya.
doubt.
Yeah. Yes, please.
This is Surendra.
Yeah,
So
Surendra.
when it is skipping to the next month, so what amount is going to get forward? Say I have selected for the current year 12 months. So my February, March and April are closed. Will this post 12 months up to December or will this...
So suppose Feb and suppose you have blacked like April and May and if open is in June. Then April, May, June will be posted in the month of June.
So all the 3 months will go, so the 4th month it will cumulative amount will get.
Exactly.
So it will be only 12 months, but the bulk amount will be one which is opened immediately after that.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone else is speaking.
Yeah, Satya. So regarding a payment, check series, the checkbook leaves 50 leaves are there. All those 50 leaves we have to enter manually, or?
Okay, so there are two options. Check leaves. I need to explain you that is another in future, like you are going to land the topic. Okay. So if you go to the bank account, we have two options. cash and bank management, bank accounts. I'm showing you now, but I will teach you that one later. Okay, you are going to learn. So if you go to this setup and layout check, we have two options, free and fixed.
Okay.
If it is fixed, you need to create before. If it is fixed, if you map it fixed, suppose if you map it fixed, then you need to create fixed like checks in the here. Automatic. You need to create already. You can create checks by creating a check button. If it is free, you need to enter in the transaction.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions, team? Any more questions?
The bank transaction type is mandatory. Now always it is showing 3. That is
free or fixed. You can design your wish as per your implementation. You can design.
No, that bank transaction type means.
So yeah, bank transaction type I will discuss with you. It is only a minimum information. Just give me a minute. Bank transaction type. Actually, in the system we have different types of bank transactions. We can use it. Setup bank transaction types. You can create as per your comfort for filtering the purpose. I will discuss with you this one in future. What is the purpose of this one? Okay, we'll discuss this one in future sessions. Fine. So that is actually in the setup it was configured, so that is coming automatically. So this bank transaction type information we will discuss in the future sessions, and even check types also. Check types also I will discuss in detail. Just I have shown wherever it is there, but explanation will be, it is only given clarification. Explanation will be in the future sessions. Okay. Any more questions, team? Anyone? So if nothing, then we can wind up the session for today. Okay, we'll continue on Monday. Okay, Monday I will discuss with you. One is cash discount. Small topic. It is important. After that, cash discount. After that, we'll discuss about check returns. If it is check bounced, how to do it. Customer checks and how to, vendor checks, how to, if it is bounced, how to do it. We will discuss in the continuation sessions. Okay, I'm stopping here for today. We'll connect once again on Monday morning, 7 a.m. IST. See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Satya. Can you share this one, this notepads?
Sure, definitely. Yeah. After 9 o'clock, I will share with you. Okay, see you.